There is another question, Hudur, about aaliha tisaa. On this hill there's 19. What are these 19? What is the meaning of this?
You know, the word 19 has been misinterpreted to mislead the Muslims in the present age by some conspirators. And I believe this conspiracy was very deep against Islam. There was one person by the name of Khalifa Rashid who proclaimed that he understood the meaning of the word 19. Every verse of the Holy Quran, every surah of the Holy Quran is divisible by the letter 19, by the figure 19. And he made such claims that he had done it, worked it through computers, that ordinary simple Muslims, Nas, they wouldn't understand. And they thought it was a great tribute to the Holy Quran. Everything is divided by 19. Now, why should everything be divided by 19 in the first place? Who could have an interest in this word 19? Who could have misinterpreted the meaning of the word 19 is something which is worthy of investigation, and I was the first man among the Muslims who pointed out in the very first phases of this campaign that although Saudi Arabia is supporting this man, and also the other popular man with Saudi Arabia from South Africa, Hadhrat, he also agreed with him, and he also spoke of all this, and he was also a favorite. I said, they simple people, they don't understand. They are the enemies of Islam. They are cooking some mischief. And then I pointed out, I have got that mischief ultimately. This man claimed that every surah is divisible by 19 except the surah Tahir, जिसके आखिर पर दो आयतें हैं, दो निकालें तहरीम, one surah which is not divisible and two extra number are left over. This proves definitely that the last two verses are interpolated and they did not belong to the Quran. That was the first explosion, which could explode the faith of the Muslims in the infallibility of the Quran, in the concept that nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafizun, inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu. Where is that promise gone? So he was a sworn enemy or one who played in the hands of enemies. So to whom could the benefit go of the word 19? I investigated, and it was a simple thing for me to find out ultimately, small detective work. The Baha'is were created by the Jews. I have got evidence that they were fully supported by the Jews. In fact, a time came when in Iran all the Jews converted to Bahaism. And that is why they were given a place of shelter in Akka. You see, the very center of Jewish influence, and which was planned to be ultimately the home for Jews. So it was a plan against the world of Islam by the Jews, who created the letter 19, because the Iranian months were supposed to be 19, and they differed from the Quranic mention of months and all other mention of months by other scriptures. So 19 became the sacred letter for the Baha'is. Now, with the grace of Allah, the Muslim Ummah rejected this in toto. Although some states transgressed against the Quranic principles of justice and fair play and tolerance, and persecuted the Baha'is beyond the limits that the Quran would permit. If they had not done it, they would have died by themselves. But because of that persecution against the teachings of the Quran, the same masters that were given a chance to propagate in the whole world of this persecuted, tortured, hunted community, which has been so mercilessly treated by the Muslims, the world of Islam. And that gave them a measure of popularity, small, very small popularity, in fact, in the Western countries. So they were uprooted from there and got rooted in the Western countries because of this. Now this 19 is a well-known figure for the masters of the Baha'is. Once they had worked it out to build a false man-made religion against Islam. This time they used the same word 19. And that letter 19 is going to torture them in hell when the ultimate reach there. You see, aaliha tisaa. They are creating, using the word 19, not with reference to the Quran in the first place, but with reference to the other traditions and things. First time the word 19 was invented to indicate that the Quran's age is over. The Quran age was 12. And with 19 begins the age of Baha'u'llah. And all the calendars which have 19 months and 19 days and 19 this and 19 that. So the word 19 in fact was utilized by the conspirators to undo the Quranic system of counting and everything, and to indicate that here ends the Quran, here begins the new Sharia. So that 19 will take the form of angels of hell, and 19 will be appointed for them to torture them and say, okay, this is what you have been doing to the Sharia of Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and inventing a new Sharia, so this is what you suffer for. This is one of the meanings, but there are others as well. Inshallah, later on at some other sitting, I'll explain the figure 19 with relation to that in hell. Why Iran was chosen? Because the Iranian traditions, calendars, etc. agreed with the word 19. So they thought it would become suddenly popular that the Islam is that of Arabia and our national religion is that which relates to 19. So it was a very clever conspiracy against Islam, and Iran was made to be the arena of this foul play. But with the grace of Allah, it was rejected. Now it's time is finished now.
Yes.
I was looking for those two verses of the Holy Quran which were declared by Rashid Khalifa to be, outsiders, aliens to the Quran, and interpolated, later on added by mankind. Now this man, after a while, claimed to be the recipient of Wahi, and he said, I am appointed as Khalifatullah in this world for you, for the whole Muslims. And within a matter of a year or so, he was murdered. So Law Taqabbal Alayna Ba'd al-Aqawil got fulfilled in his case literally.
This is new, Hadhrat. I did not hear that he was killed, but I read his book in Arabic, and I remember when I was in Abu Dhabi 15 years ago that he said that this Qaf and Alif Lam Mim and all these Muqatta'at, Qaf means the number of Qaf in this surah is divisible to 19. And I started counting this Qaf and they were not divisible.
I have done it many times. He was so many times absolutely wrong that I was surprised how people were taken in. Only because he made a big claim of I have done it through computers, they said he must be right. And because they thought he was supporting the Quran, they accepted with blinded eyes.
He wanted to claim that he is going to prove the Sidq of Quran.
I wouldn't take his word. I couldn't understand the logic of this, so I started counting and put a team to count everything which he claimed was divided by...
One surah
was not
was surah is
not
enough.
wrong.
Yes.
Once or twice, it will happen.